hello there. It's us again.
Hi.
It's the Draco with a new setup. So this is the first of my new sort of studio layout. Hopefully it looks halfway decent now, and I get to show off our beautiful plushies over here. Yep.
It's so beautiful. I hope you guys like my new setup. I was trying something different. Here it is.
I wasn't sure about it at first, MauLer, but it's growing on me. It really is.
Ah.
I think I can tell the work you've put into it. It's subtle, but it comes
Oh.
through.
Growing like a fungal infection. Beautiful.
Yeah, very, very appropriate. We watched the
Oh
most the
no, I've
latest
dated
episode.
this stream video.
That's okay. Yeah, we were just talking before we started this recording actually how much we enjoyed episode 5 of Last of Us, so it seems to be doing a pretty good job so far, I must
Dude,
admit.
wouldn't it be so awkward if like episode 6 and 7 come out and they're awful and people are like, oh look, they didn't know.
Yeah.
They didn't
Filled
know.
those youngins filled with optimism about the future. Well, we'll luxuriate in this moment of it still being good. Who knows how it
Yes.
ended up? Future us might be looking back on this sadly. There's something else that I'm kind of curious about tonight, actually, because again, for future reference, the Super Bowl's playing tonight, and that is usually when they bring out trailers for upcoming movies. And I
Yeah.
got a sneaking suspicion they're going to do the Marvels. In which case,
Oh boy.
I know what my next video will be about. Anyway, I suppose we'll just let it go for now and see what the future holds. But hey, we've got super chats to get through, so should we take a little look?
Let's do it.
All right. So, the last one that we looked at here, I think, was from Silky Crayfish, who said gaming became political in 2012 with Anita. You can't say her name. It's not allowed. She's like the one who... She who shall not be named. I mean, yeah, I was not involved remotely in the online space and all that stuff that was going on back then.
Gamergate.
Oh, you can't say it, MauLer. That's it. In the first 90 seconds is... Oh, no, it's not. We're actually outside 90 seconds, so that counts as a swear word almost.
Thank goodness.
So it probably won't get us demonetized. We'll be all right. But yeah, I mean... gaming's a very different place to what it was like 10, 15 years ago. Certainly from when I was a kid. Nobody gave a shit back then. It was just about fun, but...
Yeah, it's weird to think back, isn't it? Yeah, dude, if you got time travel to like late 90s, early 2000s, it really would be a weird vibe because you'd just be like, oh, you guys have no idea. And people would be saying some stuff here and they would be like, excuse me? Oh, wow, you just say that casually, huh?
Yeah.
And then we'd be like, what do you mean?
It's like, yeah, that'll get you cancelled in 2023, my friend.
Oh, you'd have to start warning people who like they put out a tweet, you're like, don't do it. Just don't.
Well, it's like, okay, a few years from now, there's going to be this thing called Twitter that a lot of people are going to get on, and a lot of people are going to say things that they ultimately regret. So just don't use it. Just stay off it completely, and you'll be
not about
much better.
Whether or not you're a good pisser. It's about how much they can find to make you look like a bad one. That's all.
That is it. That is it, indeed. The next one is Thomas Hale, who says, Narvik, is this a renaissance for war films? I'd love to tell you if I'd seen Narvik, but I haven't really, so
I haven't seen it. Don't know.
Miguel Diaz says, hey guys, any more recommendations for movies or series to buy physical copies of before they get deleted from history? Love the panel. I mean, really anything that you care about.
I was about to say, the best recommender for that is going to be you. Everyone's collections will look different because the highest value stuff will be different. But
I mean, just as a sort of finger in the air, like what would you say is most likely to get either cancelled or edited in the near future as being,
classic British comedies is something I'm looking to collect. I think they're for the axe soon enough, especially when you rewatch them. Rewatched Airplane recently, and it's like, man, the axe is gonna get in trouble soon. Like, surely.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah, like, so I've been grabbing up them, but you never know. I never thought they'd do anything to Aliens, right? With the whole like offensive jokes, be careful, or offensive content.
Yeah. I can see Ace Ventura getting axed pretty soon because...
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, you couldn't really edit that stuff out, could you? Because the whole plot hinges on it, so it would almost be like the whole film just would have to go because it's unacceptable now. Someone might get offended by it. What a shame, because Ace Ventura is amazing.
Presumably you've got a pretty hefty physical collection, have you? Or are you hunting down those UHDs, or are you sticking with Blu-ray 1080s?
I mean, Blu-ray would probably be all right for me. Like, I'm not like a total you know, cinemaphile when it comes to like visual quality and that sort of thing. I like me some film grain at times. Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't have a massive physical collection. Like, it's weird. I used to buy more DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff maybe 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Kind of slowed down quite a bit recently, and well, that's a shame. But you know, I got my Lord of the Rings trilogy and my Rambo movies and pretty much every '80s action flick that I could find, all on DVD and stuff. So I got the important things in life, you know.
Of course. Well, yeah. I mean, the big one is like get Lord of the Rings. All right, everybody,
Yeah,
you're gonna want to get that.
I
I
can't
don't think it's
imagine
in
there.
danger of. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna get cancelled. But you know, get Lord of the Rings on physical anyway. Just do it.
Yeah. Kuno126 says Hogwarts Legacy is the diverse game with trans, differently abled, and minority representation they've been asking for, done right, and they still reject it. All us phobes are celebrating it for being the great game that it is. Yeah, I mean, it's, well, for these people, it's like it could be the most inclusive game of all time. It wouldn't matter. It's just who's ultimately his name is attached to it. And
Yeah,
like you
which
said, MauLer, it became this hill for people to die on, and they attached the most ridiculous like defeat conditions for themselves.
yeah,
It's like if it just becomes successful, well, we've lost. You know?
yeah. Like I don't know. It would be like if you were trying to defend The Last of Us as a TV show and you said the only way I'll admit that this is bad is if it doesn't get 1 billion views like on its first day, you'd be like, why are you doing that? Like what?
Yeah.
It's not gonna get that. And it's like it will. It's that good. You're like, okay, and if it doesn't, it's bad. You're like, all right, fine. That's how you feel.
You want to make a rod for your own back? Go ahead. It's yeah. But like, yeah, I just think most of us we all fall into that middle ground of not caring about the politics surrounding any of these games. Really, we just want to enjoy good products,
Want to hear
good
the most
entertainment.
normal take ever? I've seen the game for many hours through Az's content. And it's like, yeah, it looks like a normal game. Running
Yeah.
around like a little wizard. You learn attacks and you do them. You have different enemies that are harder and easier. There's a pretty like I was about to say thin storyline. I don't mean that offensively. I just mean it's something that you chip at and you can go around and do extra quests. You find open chests. It's like this looks like the most normal fucking game in
Yeah.
history. And for what I understand, there is a trans character in there, even though it's
There is.
isn't it
Yeah.
based in the 1800s or something.
Yeah, so it's like trans bartender or something.
So like
So
yeah,
I
that
mean
should
that in itself is pretty unusual given the
so they
time
should be
period.
pretty chill with that. You'd have thought. And as far as I'm aware, they've dug into it to try and find offensive stuff. It's just like oh, it turns out it's just a chill normal video game. That's it.
How mad they must be. Yeah.
It's not a video game I'm typically interested in. That's why I haven't done anything with it. But like I've said from the beginning, I just wanted to know if it was going to be like a broken, buggy mess on launch. But with this many eyes on it, apparently it wasn't.
Yeah.
And it's broken even more records. Do you know it's like, is it the third best-selling game of all time on Steam now or something?
Oh, really?
I
I know it
remember
was like the most
seeing.
played game on Twitch or something.
All right, here's a stat I got shown recently. It seems like Hogwarts Legacy is capped off at 807,000 concurrent views on Steam. This makes it the 8th most played game of all time. The 8th most played of all time, and it's been out for how long?
It's like a few matter of days, isn't it?
Good God! And it's already the third most played single-player game on the platform. The third
Wow.
most, and it's not even been out for. I was about to say, is it 2 weeks? 1 week?
I think it's a week. Yeah, just 1 week.
Time travels so fast when I'm editing, so I don't even know. But congratulations, everybody, on a successful launch. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
It's amazing.
I've seen a couple of lefties making videos being like, "You guys did this to us," as in like we did it to ourselves, sort of thing. It's just like, well, you know, again, you set the victory and loss standards. You could have just ignored this game or used it to promote, you know, something in opposition, I guess.
Yeah,
But
so
all
it's
your
like, well, it's double loss, isn't it? Because one, they've made the game even more successful than it would have been, and they made themselves look like absolute morons in the process.
yeah, because their plan was
So
to stop everyone from playing it, and that's just going to make everyone play it.
yeah, it's like clearly you don't know gamers very well. Like you tell them
I
to do one
did.
thing, they'll do the exact opposite just to piss you off.
I will say there was a tiny voice in the back of my head that was like, "Don't you want to play it? Do you want to play the game that must not be played?" And it's like, it's not going to be any like amazing game. It's just they chose this one for some reason.
Yeah, like I could get it if it was like there was super controversial content in it or something. It's like, well, I might play it just out of curiosity. It's like, how bad
Yeah.
is it, or how crazy is it?
How evil is this game?
Yeah, but in this case, it's like no, like you say, it's just a bog standards Harry Potter game, I guess that's quite well made. You know, nothing really to get too worked up about one way or the other.
My
And
biggest
yeah, like
takeaway is it's nice that it isn't broken on launch like so many video games are these days. So that's cool.
that is true. Phil Jordan says, "Hello, Mr. Drinker. What a great, highly quotable movie in your opinion. Or what is a great, highly quotable movie? One of my favorites is The Big Lebowski. Naturally,
That's a good one.
quotable lines for days."
I mean, do I have to say it? It's gonna have to be said. It's the quotable movie of all time, as far as I'm concerned. Is Hot Fuzz.
I was gonna say, jog on.
There's so many lines I quoted from that forever.
Yeah, the whole Cornetto trilogy really is it's
Yeah.
replete with quotable lines. So yeah, all that stuff is really good.
A man of your stature drinking fucking rain.
I always find the Hot Shots movies really quotable as well. It's like I fell for her like a blind roofer. Trebacious T says, to answer Drinker's question on how gaming lost its edge, big tech has cultivated the net that gaming communities can use. We reap what they've sown. I suppose that's a good point, yeah. I mean, maybe as well, it just became too big. It became too corporatized. There was so much money involved, it was inevitably going to get like this. I would imagine the sums of money that were involved in each game, 20, 25 years ago were a fraction of what they spend today and what they earn today. It's just a different environment, and when there's more at stake, you have to be more careful with it, I guess. The bean counters get involved. Carrier, a Raccoon City story, says, "Evening, Drinker and crew. Drinker, I hope you don't mind me mentioning, I've got a teaser clip for episode 2 ready that introduces a very familiar character. Let me know if you're interested in seeing it. Cheers." So that was the guy that I've mentioned before who makes graphic novels based on Resident Evil. So yeah, I'd love to see that. Mr. Cheese says, "Remember back in 2016 when Leftoids compared everything to Harry Potter? It was hashtag read another book. Now those exact same people are losing their shit over this, and it's delicious. We truly do live in the strangest of timelines." We do. That side of things.
Think about that.
I mean, that side of things just gets more ludicrous with each passing year. But the thing is, the more ridiculous they become, the more support they lose, I guess. So, all good. This is Kyle says, "Hello chat people and open bar people. From what I've heard, the combat in Hogwarts Legacy is like baby's first Dark Souls. What are your thoughts on that?" Well, unfortunately, you've asked the two people in the world who haven't played it, so it's a bit unfortunate. I think Melanie liked it, didn't she?
Which one? Sorry, I missed it.
So they're asking what the combat was like in Hogwarts Legacy. Obviously, we haven't played it, but I think
I haven't
Melanie
played it,
said
but I've
was quite
seen
good.
a bit of how it seems to go. It's like you get a set of. It's very much exactly what you'd expect, right? You've got a set of spells. They all have cooldowns. Some are better than others, and you've got your basic attacks, and then you dodge, run around, maybe do shields, healing, eat stuff to feel better, and maybe charge up your attacks. This is what I mean. It's the peak of a normal game. I've played a lot of games in my time, and I just look at that and I'm like, that is exactly a video game right there. That's what that is.
Waylon Bicepus says, "I feel like developers confuse streamers with their actual audience." Maybe so. I mean, are streamers known for being particularly like left-leaning and super progressive and stuff that like they feel they have to, appeal to them? I don't know. I don't watch enough of them.
I think Twitch certainly is seen as a left platform. YouTube is more. I don't know if people consider it right wing or center. I guess it depends on who you are. I don't know.
Okay. Push-ups says, "Gary, see chapter 32 of Mao's Little Red Book." Okay, I'll pass that on to him. Frozen in the 80s says, "If Bioshock got a remake, what are some of the things that you would take out or add to the game, if anything?" I've got a feeling you're going to say nothing at all.
Fucking improve those graphics, smoothing out those mechanics, create a better AI for the enemies, make it so that the gunplay is stronger. And we talked about this before on EFAB, basically. This is why all these points are off the top of my head. When you shoot people in that game, a lot of the time they don't notice. Like you'll shoot them with a shotgun, they'll go ah and be standing still, and it's like probably fix that up. Story though, probably wouldn't touch it. I don't think you need to. Though if I was to dig in, maybe I'd find some tweaks, kind of like they did in the Dead Space remake. Obviously, you wouldn't be as aware, but they've actually changed little beats in the story, and a lot of people came away thinking like, "Damn, managed to improve it. Like, there's a couple of things one could call holes in the story that they've actually sealed up.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd be game for that. But to be honest with you, it's you know how it works. When a remake's coming out, it's more likely it's going to be poopy than good.
I was going to ask you about Dead Space just for a moment there, just to go off on a little tangent,
Do it.
because I've been playing my way through it. Like, what is your top weapon in that game? Like, what's your weapon of choice?
It's the plasma cutter.
Everyone says fucking plasma cutter. They're
Fucking
just
love
like,
that gun.
yeah,
Are you kidding me?
put everything you've got into upgrading that, and you can basically complete the game with it.
There's an achievement to do that. So if you don't fire any of the gun,
there's something about the Ripper that I just love. It just really
I
appeals to me.
I like all of the weapons, but the Ripper back when I was playing it at first, I think in like 2007 or whenever it came out, I remember the Ripper just being like, I feel insane using this, just
Yeah.
tearing through everything. It's like, yeah. And
I
have you
don't
used the
know.
secondary fire on it?
Yeah, yeah.
You just shoot blades out into shit. Watching
Yeah.
them in the distance fire and just like chop limbs off, you're just like, yeah.
There's something about I don't know if it's the AI that's maybe gets confused by it, but if you're up against a boss and you just start strafing around behind it with the Ripper going like full blast, they don't seem to react much to it, and so you can get the better of them quite easily. I've
It's
noticed.
kind
I've
of
done
funny.
that a few times.
I assume you're talking about the brutes, the big boys.
Yeah.
In the original game, if you tagged them in the back at any point, they would like duck and cover and sit there for about 10 seconds, and you could just do whatever you wanted to them. That was always weird. They took that out of this game, but they've still made them pretty easy to get behind. They're not too, especially with stasis.
Yeah,
And
God.
and we were talking about it, and like he's one of the ones that's like, uh-oh, here comes him. You know, things are going to change now. But ultimately, we thought he's probably the one they needed the most work on to fix as an enemy, because he's a little too easy in actuality, and he's got the biggest rewards as well for killing him, of course.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's great fun. Like, combat's good fun. Like,
Yes.
so next one is Jim says that list was psychotic. What was the list we were going through? Oh no, I feel like there was some kind of list discussed the other night.
Wasn't the thing about whether or not people have played Hogwarts or whatever, was it?
Might have been actually, yeah. The website that tracks streamers could be. Evan Stevens says the real reason that the real main character of Halo was Sergeant Johnson. The series died with him.
I'm not familiar enough with Halo to say.
Neither am I, damn it. But yeah, I'll take your word for it. Prawn Nips says Elden Ring. When game journalists were complaining it was too challenging, we want fucking challenging games. That's true, yeah. I mean, the last thing you want is to be designing games for games journalists. They're like the least qualified people in the world to decide what's good in a game. Like,
That's
most
the
of them
thing, they
just want
try
to be
and
political activists rather than journalists.
they try and find that balance, because like God of War Ragnarok, you're playing on the hardest difficulty against like the hardest bosses, you'll be there grinding forever. It's fucking difficult. You have to be the best player ever. But they've also got it so that you're like, you gotta put the circle into the circle hole. Can you do
Yeah.
it? There you go. It's like, because they want to raise that skill floor so that the journalists can get through.
Yeah. Adam Thumb says, early 2000s SJW. Oh my god, my parents hate Harry Potter. I'll never grow up to be a loser like them. Little did they know that they would grow up to be just like them. True.
The more things
Adrian,
change, the more things stay the same, right? With
yeah.
seen a bit of satanic panic recently from some people as well, from like some music video, and I was like, oh no.
Oh, is that the Sam Smith thing?
I think so. I like it could just be a bad song, whatever. I haven't seen it, but like, don't need to worry about worshiping Satan. I don't think that's the thing that's happening. You're right.
I'm the bigger problem from all this is that I just see mentions of Sam Smith fucking everywhere now on social media.
Was he the one wearing the blimp outfit or whatever the fuck that was?
Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful.
It's someone said it's described it as like it looks like a Cenobite that's had an anaphylactic shock.
That's good, yeah.
But yeah, it's like for some reason the eyes of the world are just on him, and he just keeps doing ridiculous stuff, and I'm just tired of looking at his stupid face. I just
Well,
want
that's
him
why
to
he's
go away
doing
now.
all that stuff, probably. It's like, look at me, look at me. Like,
I mean,
yep.
probably,
There
yeah.
you go.
Got to milk it, I suppose.
Hmm.
Adrian Warner says, "Thank you for all the content, etc." Thank you, sir. Laylock or Jlock even, says, always miss live streams. Off topic, thoughts on Peaky Blinders? I think it's a masterpiece up there with BB, The Wire, and Sopranos. This panel is great. Thank you. And yeah, I've got nothing bad to say about Peaky Blinders. I think it's a really good show.
I have not seen it.
Yeah, it's good. Good acting.
I do hear it's good, though.
Yeah. Vitrace says, according to them, having a last name of Ryan is transphobic because it's a manly name. Don't let Jerry Ryan or Meg Ryan know that. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird. I heard about like oh, you gave him a male last name. It's like, huh? Most famous person, like Meg Ryan is the one that comes to mind immediately. Like, but maybe they don't know about her.
What? Wait, what is the criticism that Andrew Ryan's got?
Well, so I'm pretty
manly
sure
name.
the person in the game is male to female, and so they see it as like the devs are being dicks to give her a male last name to like poke fun, I guess. But the reality is like Ryan is a surname for a lot of women in the world, so I'm not sure I follow.
Oh, that's dumb.
As far as I knew, you can have women called Ryan as well, can't you?
It's a pretty gender neutral name, yeah.
I thought so.
It's like, it just smacks of like, I'm just looking for something to get mad about with this game. I'm just going to try and dig up anything. Push-Ups says, Melanie is literally unbreaded. I'm still shocked to my core that Lara Croft's favourite food is beans on toast, apparently. It's like, come on.
True Brit.
You're supposed to be an English lady, you know? God's sake. JK Fozel says, got a challenge for the Drinker and MauLer. Drinker, give a brief positive review of Midsummer, and MauLer give a brief negative review for The Prestige. Okay. Right. Do you want me to go first? Or?
Up to you completely. I don't mind.
Okay. Midsummer is an interesting and unconventional horror movie that subverts a lot of the tropes of the genre. It's set during the height of summer where it never gets dark, so you're not like falling into the usual tropes of people getting chased through the woods at night. It's interesting insight into the psychology of grief and how that can be turned against people in order to manipulate them, and the power and allure of being drawn into a cult. That's how they prey on vulnerable people, and the film explores that in a very interesting way. There we go.
All right. Prestige thinks it's a hell of a lot smarter than it actually is. It's this guy running around telling you to pay attention to all these little clues. They're going to pay off in some interesting way, when in reality, at the end, everyone just fucking dies. They don't really have anything to actually tell you, anything to say. It's a movie that just wants to try and trick you into thinking it's smart. Spends most of its time trying to move all these characters and these pieces around like some grand mystery. But in reality, with each act as they come to their close, the movie itself realizes it's got nothing to do, nothing to say. And man, it's a boring 3-hour slog, or at least it felt that way, with acting that is subpar, a soundtrack I don't even remember, and pacing that would kill a goat or something.
I mean, can you think of any legit criticisms for The Prestige?
I mean, you know, barring all of the like ones where it's just like people weren't engaged with it or bored with it, it's like I wouldn't blame anybody for that. But like it, you know, that same question could be asked to me for The Father or like 12 Angry Men or something, where I'm just like, I mean, I don't know, there's not much in there that I struggle with this for like even like Aliens. I'm trying to think even T2. Just there's probably something. There's gonna be some moment of, I think if you remember when they trap the ingenue for Borden, he shoots his gun because he has like a one-shot pistol, and like that hits Cutter's arm, which is Michael Caine's character. It's like, Jesus Christ, imagine that it hit you in the chest, like when it easily could. You know, stuff like that. Really minor forms of arguable luck. But I mean, I don't even know what is it more lucky the fact that he actually tagged him at all? I don't know. Hard to say.
Fair. I mean, if you're getting down to that kind of level, you know, really having to reach to find a criticism, then you know you're dealing with a pretty solid movie, you know.
Most people don't hate it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Capital Lunar says, game discussions used to be objective and critical. Now it's about gay headcanons, made-up dramas, and shipping discourse. It's honestly getting tiring. It's not just gaming that's about that. Like, yeah, what are they saying now that apparently Luke Skywalker was actually gay the whole time? We just didn't know about it. And
I think they've released some book where he is from what I read, it's something like he sees a guy and thinks like, oh, he's kind of hot or something.
Just why?
I don't know. It's so
What
that
is
they
that?
can make those articles, I guess.
That seems to be it. It's just like, we got another one. There. Party CV says, it's like Gamergate. I just wanted to play video games. Didn't we all? Chris Nicholson says, I was on a business trip with my boss, and over drinks he asked if I liked Star Trek. I said that I did, but the new stuff was trash. Turns out his brother was a producer on Lower Decks. Anyone hiring? I mean, as well, it could always happen, I suppose.
Give us watch the Total Biscuit, by the way. He was actually someone I was thinking. I have no idea what he'd say about the Hogwarts fucking game. Because I'm talking about reviews being objective or whatever, or, for lack of a better term, reviews that were more about the games instead of about the meta or how everyone feels about everything.
Yeah.
He was one of the biggest inspirations for me on that, and obviously he's gone, but I would have been very curious to hear his thoughts on all this. I wonder if he would have covered it. I don't know. Maybe he would have joined the boycott.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No, it would be, yeah, such a, yeah, such a, I was going to say, it's not a missed opportunity. It's like, obviously a tragedy that he passed away so young, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I think one of the last things he wanted to make sure people understood was like, if you ever think there's anything wrong with you, you're spotting a lump or maybe a bit of blood where there shouldn't be, go see a doctor.
Yeah. Obsidian Mug says, you've seen Dimitri Monroe's vid on Japanese media and how it's being pushed to meet the global standard. That global standard is what Modern Audiences stands for. He even referenced your video on the modern audience myth. Oh no, is that... So, yeah, what, Japanese stuff is having to be like altered to conform to like Western expectations?
They even need to? I think they sell anyway, right?
Well, I know, but like that's... There, I guess there's always that disconnect of like they're getting told that they have to alter it in this way rather than it happening organically. And yeah, it's almost like maybe they're under the impression like, well, you'll be even more successful if you just adapt it a little bit to suit Western audiences. It's like missing the whole point that the fact that you didn't adapt it is what makes it so appealing. Our own media is like dying. Frozen in the 80s says, with Cobra Kai announcing its 6th and final season, how would you end the show, and does any major character have to die? Ooh, how would I end it? I guess there's got to be like... The ending has got to revolve around Daniel and Johnny somehow. Whether they have one final match or whether they like truly learn to put aside their differences. I think it has to end with them reconciling in some way and letting go of the past completely and just, being content to move on with their lives. So yeah, I think it has to be about them rather than like all the kids and all the ancillary characters that they've brought back. Like, yeah, they're the core of the storyline. Like that's how it started and that's how it should end, I think. But I'm pretty happy that it's going to end with the 6th season. I think they could quite easily end up taking it too far and jumping the shark with it. And yeah, I'd rather it goes out on a high. So hopefully they can do it justice. Mecha J says, "Oh, sorry."
People must be so annoyed that jump in the shark. The people behind that episode of, was it Happy Days that happens in?
Yeah.
They must be so annoyed that they are forever referenced as the thing that went nuts. It's like, damn it. We thought it was fun at the time.
I mean, we've almost, it's almost been supplanted by Nuke in the Fridge, hasn't it? But it's still a little bit niche, I suppose, for that.
Well, I guess a modern sort of example of this still happening is like people refer to a bad sequel as the TLJ of that series, right? Like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Like, that's your legacy, bud. Enjoy.
Well done, Ryan. Mecha J says, wokeness is a disease within these activists. To freak out over people playing a video game isn't something that a stable person would do. No, but then whoever said that they were stable, I guess. Melvin Deeply says, Drinker, you master of equanimity, you. Call Me Chato is only 3,300 subs short of 100k. Give him the gent a shout out, please. Well, there we go. Call Me Chato. He's basically a former TV network executive, so he's got loads of experience, on the other side of the fence, as it were. And he just gives great breakdowns of like modern shows and movies, and basically pulling his hair out at the insane decisions that went into making them. And yeah, he does a lot of talk about like the kind of the bullshit that infests Hollywood these days. And he's very frank and honest about it, and quite funny as well. So I do recommend his channel if you're not subscribed to him already. Let's see if you can get him up to 100k. And he's been on our channel before as well, on Open Bar.
That'll be Open Bar 14 for anybody who's curious.
How do you
Grab
know
it
that
up.
already? You've just been searching.
I feel like when you try and promote someone, a lot of the time a viewer is just listening like, yeah, maybe. And it's like, hey, person listening right now who's on the fence, all right? Go watch Open Bar 14, because me and Drinker are there. Then he give you a good old dose of Mr. Call Me Chatter, and then you can make a good decision, all right? Go do it.
Yeah. Eddie Brock says Spider-Man Noir live action series announced by Amazon. The next Rings of Power. I prefer Invincible or Clarkson's Farm at this rate. Thoughts? Yeah, I'm not going to disagree. In fact, season 2 of Clarkson Farm is out now, so I'm going to watch
Yeah,
it.
and I'm not allowed to watch it because I got to wait for Ask Gary. It's like, what the fuck?
Oh,
So rude.
God's sake. Just watch it and don't tell them. They'll never know.
It's empty.
But yeah, I don't think any of us are particularly thrilled for season 2 of Rings of Power when it comes out in about 5 years' time.
That is gonna for the next. If they bring out all 5 seasons across like a 2-year gap every time, that's gonna be a literal like get the band back together every time it comes out. It's like I haven't spoken to Lil Platoon or Disparu anywhere near as much as when that was happening, so it's just gonna be like, all right, guys, I'm grabbing you back.
Yeah. This, I know Disparu is quite into Velma at the moment. I mean, I say
Yes, he is.
into Velma. Like,
His
he's trying
clips on Twitter are funny as fuck. I will say.
Yeah. I've got to respect his sheer dedication to watching every episode and reviewing it.
I've seen people be like, oh, you're just outrage farming. You're just doing this for clips. Blah blah. It's like he's creating entertainment from shitty entertainment. How is that not something to praise?
Yeah.
Like, good for
Like
him.
when the
Go
commentary
ahead.
on it is more entertaining than the actual show. And it's just when I see the things that he's describing, I'm like, oh my god, this is real. Someone made this.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't regret not watching the rest of it. I just don't. I'm not going anywhere near that thing. It's disgusting.
yeah.
Get it away. It's horrifying. But I all I recommend is he maybe wear a hazmat suit in future. But he seems to be surviving all the radiation, so good for him. Strong man.
Careful Crab says, shout out to Jerma985 on Twitch. Coward won't even mention Hogwarts Legacy because he allowed his channel to be hijacked by those parasites. Well, there you go. It does make me wonder, like, how responsible are these people for the audience that they end up with? Are a lot of them just, hey, I just want to play games, and they just happen to attract that crowd of people, or are they like spouting all the things that these people expect, over a period of years, and so they coalesce around them?
I think we all have there's this balance, right? Of because I think this happens in other sort of spheres, but where's the line between your audience have raised a genuine concern and you should address it? It's important to work with them as they are the reason that you're here, sort of thing. But also, when does it get to a point where they're all fucking nonsense and crazy, and you just ignore the hell out of them and do your thing? Sometimes it can be hard to tell. But this would be an example if my entire audience or yours said you cannot play Dead Space because it was created by Evil McEvilman, and that's just I'd be like, guys, calm down, all right? We can play it and we can do. I thought what Hassan said was his plan. Seems like the smart thing to do. He should have streamed it and he should have done a charity thing. Because do you understand how difficult it is to shit on him while he's running a charity? Like,
Yeah.
and then that there you go. You've done it, and he can use, because the fact is you've missed it now. There was a hot spot of really big attention. I say you missed it. It's still there, I guess, for the average person who wanted to. These Twitch streamers, man, they're just trying to jump from every new grand topic. And Assam was right there. He could have streamed it. He could have been one of the biggest streamers on it, and he could have talked about charities or whatever he wanted and raised money. But no, he kowtowed to his audience, saying you'd be a bigot if you did that.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I mean, you say as well that like it would have been hard to shit on him if he was doing this for charity and stuff, but like look at Mr. Beast. He was copping loads of heat because he cured 1,000 people of blindness. And it's like, you're promoting ableism. And he's like, they fucking asked to have this done. Like, what are you mad about?
Much as you're correct, a lot of people praise Mr. Beast, normal people, you know? So you still have
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's true.
And Hassan would probably be lucky enough to have everyone praise him at that point, or at least the people shit on Mr. Beast would have praised Hassan, right?
I guess so, yeah. Vitrace says the Predator is coming to Earth to harvest Hufflepuffs for their superpowers. Well, we can only hope. Take them all. David Lamplow says, I would love a review of Once Upon a Time in the West or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Amazing films with minimal dialogue, amazing characters that modern filmmakers should learn from. Yeah, I mean, it's I'd quite like to do a little series on the Dollars trilogy. That'd be good fun, I would say. John Doe says Hufflepuff's got a fantastic common room, maximum cozy. Great.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
I'm so happy for them. James Bond says this culture that allows treatment of personal views to creep so far that it equates emotional discomfort with physical danger. People who critique people and not their world says it all. By Hogwarts Legacy. There you go. There was a great clip that I saw from Ricky Gervais just a day or two ago talking about people being offended. And he's saying it's weird to treat it as some kind of power that you have over people. Whereas in reality, it's like saying, I've got a sore leg. I believe you. I believe that you've got a sore leg, but it's not my fault. And it's not my responsibility to fix it. You know what I mean? And it's like that with offense. It's like I'm offended by this game or something. It's like, okay, so that's down to you. It doesn't affect anyone else, the fact that you're offended.
Well, where you got hit in the leg because you walked into a door or something, they would say that was your speech hurt me, and you need to take that back. That horrible speech.
That could be words are violence, as they say.
Yeah.
It's an actual Roman proverb, when they were getting like twatted in the face with swords and axes and stuff. It was like, yeah, but words are more violent than this. Nathan Cassidy says there's an actual headline on Games Radar that tried to pull Hogwarts Legacy fans clash with Elden Ring players over which game has more spells. The entire ER subreddit roasted the sheer desperation of it.
This is what should have happened: is that Harry Potter comes out, and then they say it's like a masterpiece game, and then a bunch of Elden Ring fans are like, no, it's not, and then they have a nerd fight. But there you go.
Yeah, that would be a wholesome argument.
Yeah, that'd have been fine. That's what we used to do on the internet. Oh well.
NJO says Tarantino once said that there is a cycle of the media becoming woke and then society pushing back again, and right now we are in the woke era. Do you believe that he is right and that we will see a pushback in the next years? I mean, we keep hoping for it, I suppose. I guess my rationale would be that when normal people start like becoming aware of it and realizing how silly it is, that's when you get the pushback. Because
I mean, I'll say I think the pushback's already pretty strong. Let's not mince words. I think people are more interested in hearing normal reviews of stuff compared to like, do you understand how the newest episode of The Simpsons is actually Marxist and it promotes very good ideas about the newest? And you're like, what? How? What? And they're like, have you watched? We talk about Sky High. There is it's been memed a couple of times with a video about how Sky High, the school superhero wholesome movie about having fun, all that stuff, is actually about eugenics.
Yeah,
and it's like, what? The same has been done for so many, and I just think like there's a far bigger market for people to just be like, hey, Captain Marvel was dumb, and it's dumb because when she says she does this, she's a shitty character, like just all the normal stuff.
Yeah, because it's like the assumption always seems to be like, well, which particular lens, which socio-political lens are you going to view this product through? And my response is usually, well, my lens is fucking reality. What's yours? I just want to, I start from the basis of, did I enjoy this thing? If so, why did I enjoy it? Okay, like, let's break down the things that were good about it. It's not...
Yeah. To be fair, like, I'm not saying that the good stuff is to be saying, like, oh, the reason Top Gun Maverick is good is because it promotes capitalism or something. It's like, that would be pretty cringe, too. We're just talking about what the actual thing is.
Yeah. That's the point of, like, reviewing, I guess, for the most part, is like without prejudice and without bringing the rest of like the outside world into whatever it is you're reviewing. Just like view it on its own merits.
Oh, dude, that's another reality a lot of us don't realize sometimes is that people come to the videos for escapism. They're just like, talk to me about something that isn't fucking the annoying, daunting overhead sort of Damocles that is the fucking news.
Yeah. Johnny Rico says Hufflepuff is closest to the kitchen. Imagine walking down 7 flights of stairs every damn day just to get your coffee, and the stairs are moving around. Yeah, and the stairs are transphobic as well, so you might just get flung down them.
They should just get a kettle for their room, you know?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But like, if you're wizards and you have command of the magic, like, why do you need to go anywhere for food? Can't you just like make it appear in front of you? Like, why is there even a kitchen?
I don't know if there's spells for that, but you feel like there should be.
Yeah, it seems like an obvious one, you know? SpongePore says, I've seen people claim multiple times that all of J.K. Rowling's proceeds from Harry Potter are funneled into anti-trans organizations. Unsurprisingly, I've never found any evidence for that. Yeah, I don't imagine anyone has. It's just more stuff. Like, man, she's kind of like the Donald Trump of the UK, isn't she? Like, she's just become this absolute, like, thing that drives people insane with rage just because she exists.
Yeah, she's pissed a lot of people off. And she seems so disconnected from this game, like in terms of, I don't know, it just, apart from obviously owning the IP, that it all seems kind of funny.
Yeah.
They need to announce a sequel just to piss everyone off.
Well, I imagine they will if the success of this is anything to go by, but
yeah,
man, she'll just be collecting her paychecks and laughing her ass off, I suppose, in her massive like estate up in the Highlands of Scotland somewhere. Birdman520 says, "Hey, Critical Drinker, I got my mum Redemption and she loved it. Nice, thank you. However, it has been super difficult for us to find the rest of the series besides private sellers. Are they out of print? No, not as far as I know. You can get them all through Amazon. So, yeah, you should be able to get all of them. I don't know what country you're in, but... well, you paid me in dollars, I guess, so I assume you're in America. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'll need to look into that. Joe Cronin Show says, Picard Season 3, save us. Well, if Robert's anything to go by, apparently it will.
have to imagine it'll be markedly better than Season 1 and 2 with what he said. And didn't Dave Cullen praise it as well?
Dave did, yeah. I watched his video. He was quite... he was able to avoid spoilers and stuff, so good on him. That's better than I can manage. But, yeah, he seemed pretty happy with it, so,
have a little bit of hope, guys. Just a little bit. Let a little bit in.
Yeah. And, I'll probably watch it. It's weird. I made a promise that I wasn't going to review any more of Picard after, like, Season 2. I was like, it's just, I can't be bothered with it. But then, yeah, what if Season 3 turns out to be really good and I loved it? It's like, I feel like I would want to, but I made a promise. So what to do? I need to think about that. Henry Back says, "What a fantastic lineup! Loving the insights. Thank you very much." Matthew Matson says, "Andre, have you seen the Mezco 112 scale Conan figures?" I imagine he has because he's kind of across all things Conan. So, but yeah. Let's see if they look good. I'm going to have a quick look. That's cool. Alright. Yeah, they look quite good, actually. Yeah, they're like posable action figures. And he's super ripped, as you'd expect. Yeah, good stuff. Alright. Push-Ups says, Phoebe Waller-Bridge is doing Tomb Raider. Crap. Yes, it will be, I'm sure. Grendel Vivat says, Drinker, you are my gateway to all these excellent YouTubers, so you get the first super chat. Thank you. Jesus, that was for $200 as well. Thanks, man. Hail to you all. It's been a long time in the entertainment wilderness, but the tide is finally turning. Thanks for letting me know that I wasn't going crazy back in 2020. Dude, you'd be amazed how many people I've heard that from. Just like... I thought I was the only one who didn't enjoy this movie or that TV show, and then I go on to YouTube and yeah, there's a whole bunch of people talking about it and articulating all the problems with it, and suddenly I realized I wasn't crazy. So
yes, I mean, as someone who's been talking about media forever, as have you, I think we pretty much all agreed it's like we're in a weird state right now. It doesn't. It used to be there was a lot more better things to talk about. Not to say there aren't still good things coming out, but man, that ratio feels a bit weird. Has done
Yeah,
for a few
because
years now.
I was streaming Dead Space the other day, and one of the questions I got asked was like, Drinker, what movies or TV shows are you excited for in 2023? And I was genuinely struggling to answer them. I was struggling to come up with anything. So I was like, yeah, it's just more Marvel stuff.
I thought it
I'm not
was funny that it
excited.
was like I'm excited for a game remake, another game remake. It's like what else is there? It's like I don't know.
Yeah, the best I could come up with was TV shows. So I'm excited to watch Cobra Kai season 6. I'll be excited for the next season of Stranger Things.
Oh, is
When they
that
do,
2023 that's coming out?
I don't know. I suspect it might be the following year potentially. But yeah, just generally speaking, I would be excited to watch that.
Yeah.
I'll be excited to watch House of the Dragon season 2.
Well, hey
You
man,
know,
I'm
it's
excited to see the rest of The Last of Us.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, that's something at least.
Yeah.
Volks says, this is the Disney cycle. They have a long history of getting a good thing going and then overdoing it and then losing big and then restructuring and moving on to the next big thing. Defunctland does a good job highlighting that. Well, that's an interesting take, actually. Yeah, man, it feels like Disney's feeling the pinch at last. It was going to hit them eventually, and it really is now. Cutting 7,000 jobs is pretty hefty.
Yeah, we talked about how like that's one of the most overt recognitions of things, trouble in paradise. Let's put it that way. Like it's
Yeah.
things are not as they seem.
Timmy04 says, Drinker, you spoiled us with such great guests. Also, MauLer, which is your favourite boss fight from God of War Ragnarok?
Um, that'd probably be Heimdall. I think I was quite impressed with the whole like dynamic in which you attack him because of his power and stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. But I mostly enjoyed all the boss fights because the mechanics are pretty solid. So it's just a matter of the spectacle. Which is
It was
the
great
OG.
putting that spear to good use actually, and yeah, Heimdall was a really satisfying kill.
Oh, dude, I think it's bloody brilliant that he's like, don't stop, and then he reads in Kratos' eyes pity, and he knows that Kratos is like, oh, this guy sucks, I'm gonna leave him alone, and he's like, don't fucking pity me, like, what the hell? That's great.
Daniel Hartman says, before Oppenheimer comes out, I think we need a happy hour or EFAP movies on the greatest nuclear war movie of all time, Doctor Strangelove. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's great, man. Yeah, it's one of those movies where it kind of gets better the older I get when I watch it, and like you just see all the subtleties at play and like the play on names and words and stuff like that, and yeah, like all the great like piss takes I suppose that are involved in it. Yeah, it's really good fun, and yeah, I suppose it was particularly relevant at the time it was made in the middle of the Cold War and stuff. But it still works in any context, really. Yeah, it's great stuff. Doki Kimori says, I only go to theaters for anime movies now, and it's not going to be at AMC anymore. They are testing more expensive seating for the center. Isn't that every cinema now?
Well, it was
You just
interesting. Gary was saying like they have like tiered seating or something. And I was like, oh, we've always had that, or at least I thought we did.
Yeah, it's just like you got your premier seats and then your normal ones, I guess.
For the
Prime
peasants.
Spots. Yeah. You just sit in like your big leather throne. Connor X says, classic Thursday getting pissed on the Stella. Indeed. Good stuff, man. Blue Team Epsilon says, Slytherin cunning, Gryffindor bravery, Ravenclaw intelligence, and Hufflepuff loyalty, I think are what the houses are supposed to represent. Yeah, I could go with that, I guess.
Sure.
OMG Puppies says, has anyone been watching Three Body on Tencent, Chinese adaptation of Kaizen Lu's sci-fi novel The Three Body Problem? I don't think... Well, I certainly
Doesn't
haven't.
sound familiar, no.
No, sorry, mate. Reginald Poofta says, take my money. Okay, we will. Thank you. Matthew A says, Velma is over, thank God. Yeah, but season 2 is going to come along eventually.
Is that guaranteed?
I mean, it was greenlit, so I don't know if they'll just go on the basis of like it's made such a splash, whether it's good or bad, that they're just like, yeah, we could do another one because people will watch it, just even if it's hate watching, I suppose.
All
Disparu might be
right.
single-handedly keeping Velma going. I don't know.
Well, Disparu will be happy to find out there's a season 2, probably.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be mixed feelings. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of revenue from this, but I may go insane as well. Oh, here's a challenge for you. Dragon Paul Z says, "MauLer, defend Game of Thrones season 8 from a drinker slash Gary criticism."
Well, off you go.
It's shit. There we go.
Nah, it ain't, mate.
It's the most disappointing ending to any TV show ever. None of the plot threads make any sense. All of the characters get absolutely butchered. People that should have died didn't, and people who should have lived didn't. I will never fucking accept Bran the Broken as king, who's like the most retarded, spaced out moron in the entirety of Westeros. It's like, how is he going to run a kingdom? And they absolutely destroyed Dany's character by turning her into a psychotic lunatic who murders an entire city.
Well, see, here's where you're wrong. It's supposed to be nonsensical. It represents the variety and spice of life, and
Like, even doing this, you're not into it.
Dany, they set her up as crazy all the way back in season 1, where she walked into a fire. That was crazy. So really, it's been there since the
It
beginning.
was crazy behavior.
Yeah. So
Wait. You could go with the best one. She got old.
She did. Oh, she was old. She was arrogant. She was, yeah. And you know what? She was just like, enough of this shit. Enough of that Cersei. Oh, what a bitch. Enough of that. She needs to be punished. So yeah, I thought it was great. Bran, perfect choice for king. He's so impartial and intelligent and cool, and he has the best story. I think that's what I think. That's my opinion. He has the best story in all of
Yeah.
Westeros. He
I
like
mean,
went to the wall and back down. It was crazy.
he is impartial, I suppose. So
There you
you're
go.
you're
Best
bang
king.
on there. When you don't give a shit about anything, I suppose, yeah, you're pretty well balanced, you know?
Yeah, season 8 pretty good.
There you go. You done it. Also from Dragon Ball Z, also Drinker defends She-Hulk from a MauLer criticism. All right, give me your best.
All right, there are no stakes because you can just fuck with reality whenever you want in the form of the meta Kevin coming in there with a stupid robot. How can I get invested in anything, Drinker?
Well, as you know, Muller, the show is in fact a cunning meta criticism of the formulaic nature of Disney Marvel products, and so it's not necessary to have stakes when the show itself is so entertaining and the characters are so likable that you can just immerse yourself in the sheer entertainment factor of it. Whether or not you're invested in their struggles, it doesn't matter. What matters is that you get a much better insight into the process that creates these things and how She-Hulk as a character is just elevated above all of that because she is in fact so smart that she can break that fourth wall and bend reality itself to her will. She is the ultimate strong female character.
Is that what we got, Drinker? Was it insight? Is that what it was?
I got so much from it. It moved me
It moved
deeply.
to the bathroom
Bowel
to have a
movement,
vomit. Yeah.
Wagon Burner says, "We're in the second dark ages of Renaissance because of woke. All art has been stifled thanks to its ideology." There's been a bit of that for sure. It does make me wonder how much further it'll go before, the pushback really takes effect. But man, we've lost a lot of good franchises in the process.
Like almost all of them.
Yeah. David Deacon Little says, "Awesome panel. Shout to Drinker, Nerdrotic, and Midnight's Edge. Great commentary. You helped me blow through a boring day at work. Cheers to everyone."
Hey.
Nice. Glad we can keep you motivated, or at least entertained. Andrew D says, "Can Andre say diplomatic immunity?" Did I get him to say that the other night? I think I might have done, actually.
Why is it something he doesn't say, or?
No, it was just because he's got a crazy accent, and it sounds a little bit like in Lethal Weapon 2. Diplomatic immunity.
All right.
A confused rock says the difference between Lucas and Feige is that Lucas actually cared about his world. Feige just uses his as a platform. Do you think that's true? Do you think Kevin ever cared?
I don't know. It's hard to say. You'd think no at this point, but it can manifest differently for different people. He could see everything that's come out in Phase 4 as like if we got some kind of machine to dig into his head and find out what he truly believes, and he thinks like, no, it's really good stuff. He'd be like, okay, if you think so.
Do you think there's a possibility that he did once really care about it, and like he really cared about the quality of each movie and telling a great story, and like over time, just through the sheer repetition of it, he's just burned out. He's lost his passion for it.
I think it could be very likely. Obviously, I just don't know him well enough. Obviously, I don't talk to him that often. But,
What? You mean you're not friends? Clark Herman says, as much as I love the Marvel movies, it has caused classic movie franchises and shows to compete with Marvel, and most of them have failed at it. I mean, that is true, yeah. Think how many times the Terminator franchises or the Terminator movies have tried to launch like some crazy extended universe franchise thing and failed miserably.
Yeah, and both Genesis and Dark Fate end with a setup to more films. And it's like, fuck off. Go away. Like the next one will try it as well.
Jen McMahon says Jessica Jones is still the best standalone female MCU/Marvel content, be it series or the movies. You might actually be right on that one.
What is her competition? You got WandaVision and Black Widow, yeah. Captain
Marvel, yeah.
Yeah, Jessica Jones probably wins.
I think she wins, yeah. What's this one? Mercy Lago AI says, cheers, gents and Melanie. Drinker, recommend me a scotch. My liquor shelf is too Kentucky focused and needs diversity. That depends what your preferences are in terms of flavoring, but yeah, I don't think you can go too wrong with a Highland Park. It's a nice balanced whiskey, bit of smokiness. Same with Lagavulin. That's got a bit more of the smokiness to it, but it's great whiskey. Goes down absolutely smooth, and great flavor combinations. Talisker is also another nice one, so any of those three would probably do you well. I am Dambo says, Hail Drinker, Longman, Gary, and guests. MauLer, next plus should be Friggy's Gnaw paper. Have you all heard about Peter Mayhew's memorabilia being sold, but his family trying to get it back? No. What's this? Let me just look it up here. So what are they saying? Deadline, that'll do. So Star Wars memorabilia once owned by Chewbacca actor Peter Mayhew has been returned. Okay. All right, so when he died, they cleared out his house and he had like an attic full of like Star Wars memorabilia. Yeah, so it was put up by auction, like I guess by his family. Oh yeah, and that's when his wife got word of the sale and tweeted her dismay that the items were to be sold, and ultimately they've been returned. So, oh well, happy ending, I guess. Silk Crayfish says, I want a Padme vote of no confidence for Disney. Don't we all? We need Jar Jar. TC says, I bought the deluxe edition. No intention of playing, but these weirdos are just recruiting sergeants for the right, and I'll happily spend $80 to send them a message. Go away now. Very good. Who was it? Plain Rock, I think, posted up a picture of like he'd bought like the deluxe set and like smashed it all, and yeah, people were just like, yeah, that will really show them. Go ahead and buy 5 more and smash them up too. You'll really make the developers sad.
When I saw that one, I was like, he must have done this for attention, right? He knows what this means. Like, you can't buy it to break it. That doesn't do anything for your cause.
Yeah, just like have a photograph of your empty hand. It's like, yeah, there's no Hogwarts Legacy here because I didn't buy it or something. I don't know.
There's a clip I saw on Twitter, I think it's from Straight Outta Compton, where a whole bunch of albums are getting destroyed, and they're looking at it and they're like, oh shit, like, well, your albums and stuff. I think he says, well, they bought them, they can do whatever they want. Like, if you want to destroy them, go ahead.
Yeah, it's the same with people burning their books of like their Harry Potter books. Like, again, you bought them already, so J.K. Rowling doesn't give a shit.
And that's not going to make a difference to the availability of Harry fucking Potter in the world.
Yeah. Brandon Gaines says, off topic, but I've got a challenge for the drinker. Watch the Pam Anderson movie Barbed Wire and take a shot for every 90s trope used. God. I remember watching that back in the day, actually, being really excited at the prospect of seeing her naked, and didn't really happen in Barbed Wire. So yeah, I got cheated there. Paul Durando says, I highly recommend The Legend of Vox Machina on Prime. Critical Role's animated show. Think Arcane, but with D&D and more comedy. Fun characters too. Nice. Have you watched this?
What was that again?
The Legend of Vox Machina.
No, I've heard of it though.
Chronic Dream says, Disney needs another Michael Eisner and Frank Wells team. They need something to change, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Diano says Florida lawmakers are trying to pass legislation that would overhaul the special district that oversees Walt Disney World and give DeSantis power to appoint board members. Can you do that? Like, can the Florida government appoint board members for Disney? I don't see how they would be able to, since it's like a private company. But hey, I'm not a lawmaker. A. Marcellus says, not sure if you guys played Final Fantasy VII, but Disney is basically Shinra at this point. Oh yeah, I remember talking about this the other night. Chronic Dream says, as a musician, it sucks because I have to bite my lip when fellow musicians fall in line with woke politics and praise Disney and curse Rowling. Jesus. I thought music was supposed to be about rebellion and stuff, man. It's when you get these old rock groups and stuff and punk groups who are coming out in favor of big corporations and shit. Like, what are you about now?
I'm sure they'd fight for the idea that they're still against the, I don't know, the establishment in some way. I don't know how they would justify it, but like everybody likes the aesthetic of punk, but they might not actually be.
Chris Cola says, watch Show Ruiners, a weekly stream where we discuss great films with guests. You're all welcome on any time. You're all totally not busy. Thanks for the inspiration. It's been a decent success these first 3 months. Nice. Well, good luck to you, man. Show Ruiners apparently is what you do. Von Deckbar gave me a super sticker, so thanks, man. Redwood the Elf says, I plan to follow the English tradition of being a male player playing a female character. I may name her Ted Veres in tribute to El Gunish Shive. Well, nice. I tend to pick female characters, actually, because, well, if I'm going to have to look at a character's arse for most of the game, it's better to have a female one. Mark Love Angels says, like a favourite Avengers lineup, these people are my favourite Critical Drinker live lineup. Oh, thanks. Yeah, we had a good panel in. Also from A. Marcellus, Gary, don't feel bad about your gaming skills. Campia and his entire crew couldn't get through the tutorial level of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on livestream. Oh, God, that's just embarrassing. Tom Abels says, do you guys think Iger will actually pull back on woke content, or was it just lip service for the investors? Does it even matter anymore? I mean, according to Andre, no, he's absolutely not gonna. That stuff's there to stay. But then again, I guess there's always that difference between what they say they're going to do and what they actually do. If he had an ounce of common sense, he'd be very aware that that stuff is slowly killing his company, and maybe he could just quietly start weeding it out. I mean, that's what I'd do, but hey ho. Christian Wolf says, I bet Pedro Pascal was tired of wearing a helmet. I mean, he probably was, yeah. That's maybe why they didn't want the gas mask thing.
I think you can find quotes or complaints about the whole thing. I think he likes people seeing his face, and I think arguably you can say if you're an actor, that's what you've been trained to do, push so much through your face, and so if you're not doing any of it, you kind of feel a particular way about it. I mean, I don't know about you, Drinker, but I feel like I'm getting a lot more out of him as an actor from The Last of Us than Mandalorian.
Yeah. I mean, that's not hard.
Yeah.
I mean, he can. Obviously, he is a good actor. Like, even when I watched him in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, he's fun. He's really likable in that. He's great in Game of Thrones. He was great in Narcos. So, he's a talented guy. I guess it's nice to see him doing a good job. Deranged Lunatic says, Melanie, how do the haters' tears taste? I imagine they taste rich, and she'll be making a decent amount of money from streaming Hogwarts, I hope. So, good on her. Founding Father says, big shout out to you, Drinker. I found your channel 3 years ago and have been a fan ever since. Because of you, I also became an EFAP fan. Now I drink and FAP daily. Perfect.
Oh my god. Don't overdose.
Yeah. P.S. Toy Story 5 is coming. Yes, we know.
Uh,
I don't want any more Toy Story movies. The third one ended it perfectly. Stop milking it.
fucking hate. Did you do a video on the fourth one?
Nah.
Fucking hate
Nah.
that movie.
It's just pointless. Just total
Hate it
cash
so
grab.
much.
That's all it is. Hive Tyrant says, I watched episode 3 with my wife on our anniversary and cried like a baby. I think the show is so good. Is good so far and couldn't care less about the game. Fair play. And, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Leber Hal says, feminists fight for the right to tell J.K. Rowling to go back to the kitchen for wrong think. Ah, the delicious irony. Yeah, it's great. I mean, we've said this before. Like, they love a strong woman, except when that strong woman doesn't agree with them. Yeah, then it all changes.
Mm.
Elias G says, at the beginning, the soldier took his daughter to save the world. At the end, Joel saves Ellie and screws the world. True.
Well, yeah. I mean, because what's so powerful about the story, right? Is that he gets to a point once again where his daughter's about to be taken from him. That's the idea, and it's just like, not this time, not letting it happen.
The Sundowners Club says, we started our channel a few months ago and have done well with Game of Thrones and 1923 content, but Last of Us was a struggle. We quit covering it. You guys are great. I wonder why. Why would you quit covering it?
I haven't seen Shad cover episode 4 or 5 yet either. And I was like, I get people can fall off the show, but you know, I think it's getting better. So like,
I mean, yeah. Do you think it's one of those awkward situations where, like, it's not a Velma and it's not a Rings of Power where it's just like you can absolutely go to town on it, and it's not so spectacular that you can completely gush over it, or maybe for a lot of these people it's not, and so it's just in that awkward middle ground where maybe you struggle to find really interesting takes on it.
I mean, I've said before and I'll say again for everybody: if you're not interested in it, don't cover it. Like, it'll come through in your stuff if you can't bring yourself to care. So I don't blame them if that's the position they're in. It's totally fair.
Oridan Royce says, truth in advertising, isn't that a sign of the apocalypse? That could be high. Push-Ups says, not watching Last of Us because fuck Pedro Pascal, I stand with Gina. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess when we cover stuff like this, we just try to separate the art from the artist and just go on his performance, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of the Hogwarts situation, isn't it? Like, I commend people who are managing to review the game without being like, it's terrible because JK. You're like, all right.
Flavius Alacanthor says, Baha, thanks to you, Hogwarts Legacy is officially the #1 single-player game ever on Twitch with 1.28 million peak concurrent viewers at launch. Yeah, it's done pretty damn good.
It's getting a bunch of records, from what I understand.
Waylon Bicephus says, whoever told you about that guns needs to hush. What? I don't know.
I don't know what it was, though.
I don't know what he's referring to, yeah. I know we were going on about Joe choosing a bolt-action rifle over...
I've seen a lot of fights over that. I'm not going to pretend like I know the answer, but I've seen people... Like, we've had messages in our comment section saying that Rags is wrong about what he said about bolt action, so I really have nothing to say. I'd have to do a lot of Wikipediaing, I guess.
The bit that did jump out at me is when they took cover behind the car when the sniper's shooting at them in episode 5, and it's like that car is not, like, a rusty old car is not going to stop those bullets. Like, they're going to pass right through it and through you as well.
I suppose they didn't have great options. I think they do the same thing in the game. Like, obviously, and Joel quickly says, like, this guy can't aim for shit. So
yeah, I mean, I think the biggest advantage that it'll give you is just he can't see you, and so he wouldn't necessarily know exactly where to aim to hit you anyway. So
yeah, and I think you can hear him continue to shoot. So I think he's trying to find them or like shoot through them or whatever. But yeah, Joel gets to him, and I think in the game it was like a random thug that's doing it. But in the show it's like an old dude who's just out there as an outpost, and so
I really like that moment with Joe where he's like, "Don't try it," because you can see what the old guy's thinking. Like, I'm gonna try.
I was like, really, just random old man just gave up his life, and I was like, oh, he's one of the fucking assholes from Kansas City. Okay, and I was like, yeah, I realized that.
Yeah, it makes more sense because it'd be a bit random to just run into one guy who just
that's what I thought it was. It's just, oh, look, it's old man sniper man. He lives out here sniping. That's what he does.
TC says, have you seen Shogun Assassin, the amazingly dubbed English amalgam of the Lone Wolf and Cub comics, heavily featured on the Wu-Tang album Liquid Swords? If not, grab a copy or sale. It's amazing. Nice.
No, all right.
Never seen it. AGM04 says, conversation starter, which film critics do you respect? I used to like Mark Kermode, but after he went soft on TLJ and Rise of Skywalker, he lost all credibility for me. I'm not a huge fan of Kermode, to be honest. I don't know. Like, who do I respect? I respect MauLer. There you go.
They'd consider that cheating, I think. I mean, I respect the hell out of YMS. I think he makes incredible videos that are really well researched and highly edited, and he has a lot of insight about some stuff. Simultaneously, less of a fan of his quicker stuff, but I'm sure he wouldn't exactly be surprised at that. I way prefer the sort of in-depth diving sort of things. I'm trying to think of who else I watch for a sort of film analysis that isn't people that I wouldn't mention. What's the point mentioning Drinker, right? It's like, I don't know. People you haven't even. There's not many. As people may know, like EFAP got started because I watched a lot of film criticism. I found it to be very cringe. So I wouldn't recommend a lot of the channels.
I mean, the thing is, you're always talking about how much you like Chris Stuckman, so I'm surprised.
Oh yeah, one of my favorites. He recently did a video on. I think it was. He was doing. You know that new Shyamalan movie. Knock at the Cabin. Yeah. A friend of mine was saying, because they checked it out. I don't obviously keep up to date with it, but they were like, he claims like he's this big fan of Shyamalan as an actor, like who just director keeps trying, keeps going at it, and there's a lot of fun to be had in these movies. It's like a 5-minute video. Just like how much are you gonna say? How much are you gonna analyze? It can't be that much. Something I've never really quite understood with him is, I guess it's the opposite of what people say about me. It's like, how the fuck do you talk so long about a movie, longer than the movie itself? And then I'm sitting there like, how do you talk so short about a movie? I don't understand.
Well, yeah, and it's 50% of what he gives you is just like production info from IMDb. The director, the stars, like what studio's putting it out and stuff. It's just like this is irrelevant. I don't care about this particularly. It's like, give me your analysis of the movie. It's just I don't really know what you would expect to get from a Chris Stuckman review. Like,
are you going to review his movie when it comes out?
Nah, it wouldn't be fair, because then he'll just return the favor for me and like tear mine to shreds.
Why wouldn't that be just what you want? You'd be like, yeah, come at me, bro.
I would, because like we've talked about Red Letter Media's movie as well, haven't we? It being a bit shit and a bit of a source of embarrassment. So yeah, it can. I don't know. When's his coming out? Is it
his? I don't know. I don't know if it's even started production. I think it's started production, but
right. Well, I wish him the best of luck. Ghost in the Craig says, finally playing Shadow of Mordor. Fuck out of here, Rings of Power. Yeah, it's meant to be quite good, that, isn't it?
Oh, a lot more popular with Lord of the Rings fans than fucking Rings of Power.
Yeah. CJ Knoll says, on the topic of bolt action guns, Ian from Forgotten Weapons has a good video on how bolt actions are not that superior. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have seen them as superior in the slightest. Like, surely they're really slow.
See, this is the thing. I don't know enough about guns, but I have people with confidence saying bolt actions have better range, have more reliable sort of like mechanics. They're shells you can refill, and I'm just sitting there like, are they? I don't know. I don't know if this is true. Someone else is like, no, they're not, and I'm like, you guys have the fight. I mean,
you can, like, all guns just use bullets. Like, you can refill any of them if you've got the right
they're saying
tools.
It's easier to refill the ones for bolt actions than it is for, I guess, semi-automatics. I don't know, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, okay. Push-Ups says, Drinker, if Rambo comic has a sequel, can it have Operation Linebacker 2 with the B-52s? The B-52 needs more love. It does, yeah. That thing's an absolute warhorse. I just think it's fantastic that it was designed in the 1950s and it's still going. It's great. Dan Hagmark says, have Andre watched Norseman on Netflix or NRK? I'm sure he's seen Norseman. Norseman, sorry, yeah. He's all into his Viking stuff. Best name I can think of says, how long of a break do you think we would need from superhero movies before we begin to miss them? About a decade?
Like, I'm all right. We've got plenty that we haven't seen. Okay, we'll just go watch some of the ones that came out that we haven't seen if we miss them. Okay, we'll be fine.
I just, yeah, you know what? I could be fine with them like sticking around. I just want more variety in my like sort of summer movie season. You know, I want them to be just other movies that hit it big.
Like Avatar.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was different, I suppose, but
Hmm.
like weirdly the same as well. Just CGI heavy garbage. Um, anyway, Super Nate says, "I'm sorry, but did anyone else see that we're apparently going to get a live-action Spider-Man noir TV series? That came out of nowhere." Yeah, that's the second comment about that. Actually, is that a thing now?
The one question I have is that with Nicolas Cage? Is he going to be playing Spider?
I'd assume so. Hold on.
Because him in live action Spider-Man TV shows, like holy fuck.
Yeah, so yeah, let's go to Empire. Whatever. So, a Spider-Man noir live-action series in the works. I love how they've got a name for this as well. The thing with the spunk, the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. It may not always be pretty, like Morbius. So, where's Nick Cage? Oh, okay, so it's not connected to the version of the character we saw in Into the Spider-Verse. So, no Nicolas Cage. Well, I'm not interested then. No Nick Cage, no drinker. What's the next one? Oh, okay, here's one. Intelligent Crayon Eater says, for Drinker and MauLer, what professions have the worst portrayal in media? My choices are in order: intel agencies, lawyers, the military, and cops.
It's hard not to say lawyers. It's pretty. Uh, damn. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, intelligence agencies are generally like there's always like the slimy CIA guy who's corrupt and stuff. So that's probably yeah. There's probably
Hmm.
there's probably guys who work for the CIA and they're just like, I just want to do a good job. You know, why do we always get
Why are we
made out
always
to be assholes?
slimy?
Yeah, you know. Yeah, so things like that, and yeah, lawyers, cops used to get quite good portrayals. You know, there was a lot of '80s cop shows and stuff, and the '90s. Not so much these days, I wouldn't imagine.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think those are probably the top ones. Next one is Barbecue Bandit. I'm always curious how you and MauLer met, and if you get to interact much offline. Do you have any other common interests outside of movies and shows? Cheers from a farmer in Iowa. So how did we meet? It was a
Did I
romantic
contact
tale.
you or did you contact me? I think I contacted you for EFAB.
Yeah, I think you emailed me or something, and
I
then
was like, let's
yeah,
go.
went from there basically, and that was the beginning. And
You can trace it if you just go to the first episode he's on. That's where we met, I think. So
I would have been just a few days before that because that my channel was small at the time. Like it was, I don't know. I think I just kind of had that first bump from Captain Marvel and stuff, and maybe I was at like 40 or 50k. So
well, yeah. When I say
still,
we met, I mean like more so than just saying hello, schedule. Like I mean like we actually talk to each other and stuff. But
yeah.
and then similar interests outside of movies and TV. I mean, you know, both like alcohol.
Mm,
um,
perfect.
games, both like that, and yeah, we talk a lot. Whether or not it's online, it's a lot of the time. The people I have the best chemistry with, you'll find I'm building it off stream as well. I think a lot of us are.
Yeah.
Not like on purpose, but just that's just how it goes because I like spending time with these people.
It'd be really funny actually if we stopped rolling this and like immediately we're just ratting it with each other like, "Oh fuck off, you prick! Don't want to talk to you anymore."
You say goodbye and then it goes offline. Then I just go bye and leave.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
Yeah,
until
there's a
next
couple of
time.
times when we've wrapped up an open bar and then like the conversation with the guests is carried on for a bit longer, and I'm like, "Fuck! I wish we'd kept recording because this is good stuff," you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But never mind. The real smile bit says, I heard you briefly talking about Spartacus. Great show. Just read an article on Deadline that Stars is working on a sequel to the series. Do you think this is a good idea? Not really. No. I mean, Spartacus died in it, so yeah. I'm not really sure where you could take this or why. Like, I feel like the story was told, and I don't know, man. That whole show was heavily based on like the 300, just the visual style and everything. Like, it was very much like when, excuse me, um, fucking what's his name? Snyder was like still a big thing in Hollywood. His style was big, and clearly that's not the case anymore.
Hmm.
So I think it would be a tough thing to get off the ground and get the enthusiasm again. Elias G says, "It pissed me off in the Batman when the city is flooding, so they move all the people into a pit." Yeah, that did get me thinking.
It
It's like
did. I remember watching it. Feel like this feels like like the drain of the city, and all the water's coming here.
it's like there's high-rise skyscrapers everywhere as well. There's must have been so many people like really confused. Like I'm perfectly safe. I'm on like the 30th floor. Why do I need to go? Um, Quinn Thompson says, Nerdrotic, as a fellow long-time comic fan, what are your thoughts on Jack Knight Starman's run? I feel like if DC wanted to do a lesser-known character, it would make for a great series. I am sorry that he's not here to answer that now, man. I apologise. Stephen Baker's give me a super sticker. Thank you. Kevin O'Neill says, the thing about Batman, for whatever reason, that franchise doesn't have a hidden cooldown for reboots like other IPs. Yes, just keeps going. It's kind of insane now. We were talking about this the other night, how, there seems to be about 4 or 5 active Batmen going at the moment.
I can't believe we're at that point that they're like actually trying to foster that environment. I wonder if Gary's super correct on the whole the Batman thing, and they're just going to release them as for as long as it's just a bit over profitable. The second that it looks like it's weary, it's like cut it out. We're done with that.
I mean, it just really feels like you're going to have a bunch of them competing against each other, effectively. Because
Yeah, and I mean,
inevitably
who's going to
everyone's going to have
lose?
their favorite, yeah. Like,
And
it
it
seems
feels like the James Gunn one will be the one that they want to focus on, which is funny, right? Because they just restarted. It's like, well, time to get rid of that one too, I guess.
Cliff says, panel, other than the obvious Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne / old Batman, who would be your ideal cast for a live-action Batman Beyond film or TV show? Who would we like to see?
So an older Batman. I think
How
Gary
about Ben?
mentioned. Well, someone mentioned Jeffrey Dean Morgan. It's like,
Yeah,
I think he could do it.
I've got a crazy idea of Ben Affleck. How about we try him out?
Could
It's
do.
just like,
There's no reason not to, I guess.
could Hugh Jackman play it? Because he's in his 50s now, so he's older.
I'd probably keep him away just because I want to. We got another Wolverine coming for him, so I think people associate him a lot with that role. I know that's pretty meta, but I would honestly rather go with Batfleck than Hugh Jackman, I guess.
I mean, how do you feel about Jackman coming back for Deadpool 3?
I've seen that he's putting shit tons of effort into getting jacked up for it, which is cool. I always love his portrayal of Wolverine, but obviously it felt like the story was done. And I feel like he said the story was done, but
It feels really weird to bring him back for a comedy as well.
Well, I imagine it's going to be a multiverse bullshit thing, right?
Yeah. Maybe it's almost like he just needed like that workout inspiration. It's like, oh, I'm getting a bit out of shape. Like, what will really inspire me to get back into like tip-top condition? I'll just say I'll play Wolverine again.
Yeah.
There's a lot riding on it then. I don't know, man, but yeah, like when you've done something, when you've finally produced a really good Wolverine movie in Logan and brought it to a pretty satisfying end, yeah, you're taking a real risk, like coming back to it with a kind of a goofy comedy, essentially. You're kind of taking the piss out of your own work then. So I don't know if that's how I'd want to end it. But hey,
We shall see.
yeah. Billy Badass says, Drinker, how can you say that The Dark Knight sucks balls? That opinion should be reserved for Batman Returns. I never said The Dark Knight sucks balls. What?
Do they mean Rises?
Maybe. I mean, maybe he left that word out, but yeah, like The Dark Knight Rises has got a lot of problems, and I made a video explaining them all, I guess, and I stand by that. It's a very flawed movie. Lance says, let's be honest, there's only been one actor who has perfectly played the role of Batman, and that's Kevin Conroy. May he ever rest in peace. Yeah, good voice actor. Shame what
Yeah,
happened.
excellent.
Eluciat says, Drinker, have you ever talked to your publisher about possibly going to the Book Expo of America. I know you're going to do more cons now, and I would like to see you at a literary one. Drink well. I mean, it's the sort of thing you get invited to rather than you ask to go because they've got to foot the bill for like flying you out there and stuff. So yeah, it's just not come up really. But I mean, I'm more than happy doing conventions. It's kind of like my more natural grounds for being in, I suppose. So yeah, I'm happy to just appear as the drinker. Rexnas says I could see them using Florence Pugh for Abby. I mean, good luck there. Isn't she
You
about
think?
4 feet tall?
I'm assuming they're going to want to hire a bodybuilder of some kind. I would imagine. I
Yeah,
don't think they're going to go with Florence Pugh, but I mean, maybe. I was just thinking, like, you don't have to make her a bodybuilder in the story, do you? It's not like this.
I think it invites mockery, really, doesn't it? You know, if you get
If you
some
just
actress that's huge and jacked up, like people are just gonna
well,
laugh at
like,
her.
if Last of Us 2 didn't happen, right? And I said to you, Drinker, like, oh, they're hiring me to do the next one, and I was thinking, of all the people that Joel has killed, what if he killed someone that someone else is now like on his trail, and they've been chasing him for a long time, and my story's going to start with they eventually catch up and they do actually kill him. Like, does that sound to you just automatically horrible? I imagine you'd just be like, how you doing that? Like, what's going to happen, and what's the point of your story overall?
Any idea can be made to work with the correct execution, I think. No pun intended. And I think that this is just, yeah, it's a perfect case of it. Like, I threw out a whole bunch of different, like, concepts for Last of Us 2 that accomplishes that aim of pursuing revenge and
Yeah,
the cost of it and stuff. And, like, it can definitely be done. It's just, yeah, they picked the worst possible timeline for it, I suppose. So, yeah.
it's just a lot of it relied on Joel being an idiot, which sucks to watch.
Yeah.
And of course, he's killed very sometimes I don't know how to put this, but I'm like, oh, you had a character spit on his corpse. Um,
It's just yeah, and he's like he's kind of tied up and helpless on the ground and just gets his head caved in. It's like it's not like he gets a heroic death or anything either. It's just really pathetic and
yeah,
anticlimactic for such a character.
I would probably let people know, like, the creators know, it's like people are really not going to like to see this. And if they were like, yeah, I know a lot of art challenges you, and it's like, that's not quite what I'm getting at. It's just it's kind of thing. If you can avoid it, if you can tell the same story while not pissing all over his corpse, so to speak, you should probably do that.
Yeah. What's the next one? Guardian Fortress says, "Tell MauLer to watch Patton." There you go, MauLer. Watch Patton.
I have been told many a time to watch this Patton.
Stu Cheeks says, "Thanks for being a source for my regular entertainment. Also, any chance that you've seen the Land of Light video about Rings of Power being written by an AI?" No, but I'm not entirely surprised if that was if there was something in that. Joseph L says, "Watch and read Vox Machina, or don't if you don't want to." That's good advice either way, I would say.
All right.
Big Coffin Hunter says, "Have either you or Gary been confronted by someone with opposing views at a con?" Oh yeah, that was Gary who brought this super chat up actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, like he's never really had it. I've in my massive experience of one con that I've been to, it's never happened to me either. Everyone's been super nice, so long may that continue, I guess. Christian Wolf says Favreau didn't want to bring Grogu back. It was all KK. I've heard rumors, but again, we'll never know, so we don't know what goes on behind the scenes unless he comes out and says, Kathleen forced me to do this.
Grogu sucks.
I just,
nothing
again,
there.
well, it kind of ties back into that super chat that someone brought up earlier, where it's like Disney take a good concept and just use it to the point where they run it into the ground. And it's kind of like that with Grogu. And it was just a cute little thing in that first season, just a nice little novelty. And when he said goodbye and Luke took him away, I was ready to never see him again. I thought that was just fine. Did well there. Now he's back, and it's just like, yeah, you've outstayed your welcome, mate. Fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
Last of all is Big Coffin Hunter, who says, "I'm listening to the stream in my car on the way to work. I was at a red light when Gary was talking about the Black Panther advertisement. I looked over, and the car next to me was a black dude just staring at me." Sorry, we almost got you killed. Anyway, man, that was the last one. So we got to the end of our super chats, and
Beautiful.
what a lovely bunch they were. It's good.
Well,
Uh,
suppose we'll
yeah.
see everybody on Thursday then.
That'll be the next one, yeah. Well, thank you for that, guys. Appreciate all your generosity as always, and we will catch you at the next one. So for now, that's all we've got for today. So go away.